Welcome to Susarla's Bio class. I am Susarla Vijayalakshmi, working as School Assistant Biological Science at Nellore district.
Good day to all of you. Today we are going to discuss about the role of chlorophyll in photosynthesis. Sun is the ultimate source of energy. Only the plants can able to trap that energy from the sunlight and they can synthesize their own food material. After that, the energy is transferred from plants to the next trophic level organisms known as consumers. So, the photosynthesis is considered as the basic energy source for most of the living world. Now let us see some historical aspects regarding photosynthesis. He is the scientist named as Ingenhousz. He conducted a number of experiments on photosynthesis and he proposed that only the green parts of a plant able to perform the photosynthesis. From his propositions, a number of questions were raised among the scientists. Let us see some of those questions. If only the green part of a plant able to synthesize the photosynthesis, then what about the plants which have colored leaves? How they produce their food? And one more question is, if the green part of a plant able to synthesize the food, then why not the parrot which is in green color not able to synthesize their own food? And one more question, when the newly formed leaves are in red color, when they become mature they are turned into green color. How these color changes occurring in these plants? All these questions remain challenges the scientist until one pigment is isolated by Pellitter and Cavendish in the year 1870. They extracted one pigment from the green colored part of a plant and they named that pigment as chlorophyll. Chloro means green and phyllo means leaf. Chlorophyll means nothing but the green leaf, and they said that the entire leaf is not participating in photosynthesis. Only this green color pigment chlorophyll has the capacity to trap the energy from the sunlight and they perform the photosynthesis and able to synthesize their own food. Let us start our journey from tree to chlorophyll. So this is a tree. See how the tree is with full of fruits. Now let us move to the leaf. This is the leaf. The leaves are called as the food factories of the world. And we know that from the work of Pellitter and Cavendish, the entire leaf is not participating in photosynthesis. Only the chlorophyll pigment is responsible for the photosynthesis. Now let's locate the chlorophyll where it is present in the leaf. In earlier, the exact location of the chlorophyll was not known and they believed that the chlorophyll is spread in the plant cells. But in the year 1883, Julius von Sachs, he said that the chlorophyll is not present in all the cells of the plant, but they are confined to only a particular cell organelles, and these cell organelles are present only in some cells of plant tissues, but not in all. Wherever those cell organelles present in the plant, those parts appear in green color. Now, in order to locate that cell organelles, let us move inside the leaf. How we can move inside the cell? So, let us move to the transfer section of leaf. This is the transfer section of leaf. If we observe the transfer section of a leaf carefully, the uppermost layer is known as upper epidermis and the bottommost layer we call it as a lower epidermis. So these two epidermal layers comes under dermal tissue. In between the dermal tissue we have a ground tissue here. So if you observe carefully, two types of cells are present here, palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. We call it as a mesophyll cells. The palisade parenchyma are in rod shape and they are arranged regularly without any intercellular spaces. If you see the spongy parenchyma, they are not in a regular shape and they are not arranged regularly. Large intercellular spaces are present in between the spongy parenchyma. So if you observe in the middle, there is a one bundle which is known as vascular bundle. This vascular bundle also contains two types of tissues. So xylem and phloem. The xylem is meant for the transportation of water and phloem is meant for the transportation of food. Whatever the water that is absorbed by the plant is transported throughout the plant through the xylem, and the food that is prepared in the leaf, it is transported throughout the plant through the phloem. Now, if you observe carefully the palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma, certain dots, green colored dots are present side of the boundaries. So, let us move in order to locate those green colored spots. Let us move into the one of the palisade parenchyma cell. Now, this is the parenchyma cell. So, if you observe this palisade parenchyma, in the center, a large vacuole is present and the nucleus is pushed by the vacuole to a side, and if you observe here, the corners are, if you observe these corners, green colored dots are present. We call these green colored dots as chloroplast. Means the location of the chloroplast is mesophyll cells. Where the chloroplast present inside the plant? The chloroplast is present in the mesophyll cells of a leaf. At the same time, the stomatal guard cells. So, in the lower epidermis, stomata are present which are meant for the gaseous exchange and also for transpiration. These guard cells also contain the chloroplast. In the year 1954, Daniel I. Adnon, he gently break down the plant cell and he isolate the chloroplast to outside. Now let us go inside the chloroplast. So this is the structure of chloroplast. Chloroplast is a discoid shaped structure and it contains three membranes. The first membrane is outer membrane and the second one is inner membrane and the third membrane forms a stalk-like structure known as granum. So if you carefully observe the granum, it contains a coin-like structures. These coin-like structures are individually known as thylakoid. Means a group of thylakoids forms as granum. So this thylakoid is the site which has the capacity to trap the energy from the sunlight. Now let us move into the inside of one thylakoid, one of the thylakoid. So this is the thylakoid structure. So thylakoid membrane and inside lumen is present. So on the thylakoid membrane, photosynthetic pigments are present which have the capacity to trap the energy. Here our photosynthetic pigment is nothing but the chlorophyll. Means the chlorophyll is present on thylakoid membrane. Now it traps the energy from the sunlight and it loses the electron. Thereby this electron transferred through the electron acceptors which are present on the membrane of thylakoid, and due to this electron transfer at last they prepare a certain amount of ATP and NADPH. Whatever the electron that is lost by the chlorophyll because of the excitation of sunlight, that electron is give back to the chlorophyll by the breakdown of water molecule. Means the breakdown of water molecule occurs inside the granum. So once the water molecule break down, it liberates the oxygen and water vapor. The electron is taken by the chlorophyll and water vapor is transpired into the outside and oxygen enters into the atmosphere. So this what happened inside the thylakoid. Now let us come again to the structure of chloroplast. So just we discussed about the granum. So here the intermediary fluid substance is present, portion is present which is known as stroma. The stroma is responsible for enzymatic actions. Whatever the ATP, NADPH which are produced in the light reaction that occurred in grana, those are utilized for the dark reaction. That dark reaction occurs in the stroma. During this dark reaction, the carbon dioxide reduced to carbohydrates by utilizing the energy which is produced in the light reaction. So, this is what happened inside the chloroplast. Let us see once the overview of our journey from tree to chlorophyll. So, plant to, we move to the leaf, from the leaf to mesophyll tissue. So, in the mesophyll tissue, parenchyma cells, in the parenchyma, palisade parenchyma or spongy parenchyma. So, chloroplast, in the chloroplast, the chlorophyll is present inside the granum, that too the thylakoid membrane. That's all about today's class.